So, my boss came up to me the other day, and he said that he said to replace the word problem with opportunity. So I'm happy because it now turns out I have a severe drinking opportunity. And I really worked hard on a party to blend my Mexican Norwegian friends. It turned out to be just a bit of a disappointment, to be honest, because what do you expect from a fjord fiesta?
No, I'm not having that one.
Not having that one?
No.
Oh, okay. What type of medicine do ants use when they have eye problems? Antibiotics.
Oh, for God's sake.
Come on. Maybe I should have bailed on the ones I had my drinking opportunity. Maybe I should have.
Dear, oh dear.
Maybe I should have bailed
Well,
like
have you
2 years ago. I don't know.
have you heard about the latest fashion trend for the bedroom, or should I say for one of the beds? Corduroy bed pillows. Heard of them? Have you heard of them?
No.
Well, you should do. They've been making headlines.
Oh! Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Starbucks made my coffee too hot, but I'm all right. But my tongue hurts a little latte.
Oh.
My tongue hurts a latte? Oh, God, fuck that
Need
one up.
some work.
Yeah. Why do bicycles can't stand on their own? Why can't they stand on their own? Because they're too tired. There you go. Fucking hell,
When
right.
Jim says they need some work, doesn't mean throw another one in.
Ah, jeez. It's the scattershot approach. It has to work. Somewhere along the line, it's got to work. Anyway.
Someone will laugh out of desperation.
Just keep laughing until he goes away. Please stop hurting us. He's
Honestly,
all right.
our listeners are just pulling out ball bearings out of their anuses because of this. There's all the buckshot going all over the place.
Oh, I've wondered what the fuck you were talking about.
I
Are we
was
now sponsored by the Torture Garden or
I
something?
thought I'd better say buckshot.
Yeah. I don't know where
Just
that
to
was
explain
going.
where I was going with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
There's a listener in a bathroom pulling out a ball bearing out of his head. He's got, oh, hang on. There's a camera in there, is there? Shit.
Yeah. Who fucking told him? Anyway. Hello,
You
everyone.
find it on Pornhub.
Oh, God, hold on. I wasn't ready for that. Hold on, I pressed the wrong button. There you go.
That's what he said.
Anyway, hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog, episode 133. Yes, that's the one, 133. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we'll be seeing how everyone's week's been, or not been. We'll look to see if there's any feedback for last week's episode, and which was Training Day, and then we will move on to this week's movie, which was my choice, which is Glorious. And that's not just a descriptor, that's the name of the film. Or maybe not.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll get to that later, because the stunned silence from the other three hosts tells me I might be in for a rough ride. Anyway, so, before we get to that, let's find out how everyone's week's been. And obviously, we'll stick to the old format, and we'll go with you, Jim. How's it been, sir?
I'm sort of reasonably quiet. I've had a bit of a social life as I was having a pause from the chemo and being generally a bit better. But
Yep.
an old friend came round to have tea on Saturday night, and we all watched Eurovision, and there might have been too much drinking going on.
Nice.
that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not an awful lot.
No, that's fair enough.
I've been fairly quiet. Just kind of, we keep sort of going, oh, it looks like a nice day. We'll go out and do something. We have all these nice extra days off this month. But we've learned that normally, if it's nice in the morning when we take the dog out, by lunchtime we're thinking of going somewhere in the car. It's clouded over and it's looking eminently inclement. So it's kind of,
yeah. Fair enough.
But yes, other than that, I only have one amusing anecdote, is that I managed to lose a book this week.
Oh.
In my own house.
Well.
It was one of those things. I went to find a particular book, and I looked everywhere for it over a period of several days. I've gone, this bookcase. I'm sure I put it over there. No, it's not there. Did it fall behind that bookcase? No. Ironically, it's on the bookcase at eye level. It's immediately opposite my bedroom door. So how I didn't see it for like 4 days running, I don't know. But it was one of those things. I completely misremembered what size the book was. I was looking for a larger book that was thicker.
Oh, blimey.
Which is probably a sign I do now have too many books.
No. Okay, let's put it this way. Which is worse thing to consider, that you have too many books or that you couldn't see the books because
of all the other books.
Because of all the other books. And I was going to try and say something like you're losing your mind or something like that, but no, actually, yeah. No,
couldn't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah.
Couldn't. Well, the paper for the. No, anyway, I don't know. I'm having a day. I'm having a bit of a day. I'm trying to be funny. Yeah. So okay. So you've got too many books. What's the plan then? Are you actually going to auction them off, or are you going to rehouse them, or what?
Well, it's one of the, I've been sort of thinking for a while that I need to actually start going through some and going, do I really need to keep this hold of this one? No, I've done this one go. And I was thinking maybe in calmer times when I'm allowed out again, I might start a small like an Etsy store or something and start selling some of these.
All right, yeah. It's probably not a bad idea.
But I did find out, I've got actually multiple copies of several books where I've picked it up cheap, then picked it up cheap again, forgetting I've got it. And things
nice.
like this, and this is getting out of hand now.
Do you buy them on a regular basis then?
Well, the thing is, I've stopped buying books, but people just keep sending me them regardless now. I just sort of generate books now.
Wow. So who sends them? Is it like promotional stuff or?
Occasionally, but most of the listeners I saw this, thought you might like it, and they send me it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it is. So it's
nice.
So I have more books than I know what to do with them. If I'm not careful, more books than I've got a chance to read in my lifetime. If I'm not unlucky.
Yeah,
it's kind of start chipping away at these really.
Maybe you should make yourself a mobile library, the mobile library of dreams.
I could build it out of books probably.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Stories from the great mobile library of dreams.
There's another podcast, Jim.
There's always another podcast, Elton. There's always another one.
just drive to different towns. Hello, folks.
Today I'm in Yorkshire.
Reading this story to a bunch of people just walking past. Yeah, cool. Like a speaker's corner kind of thing. You can sort of drive there and just read your books out loud.
That's a YouTube channel waiting to happen, clearly.
Isn't it?
Today, Jim, I'm in the Dartford Interchange.
Jim, if you're going to actually do a commentary while you're driving there, just practice a little beforehand, mate, because, you could lose concentration getting wrapped up in what you're saying. Hello, I'm on my way to... Oh, bugger! And then just suddenly goes dead.
I'm on my way to Crunch.
I can smell almonds.
Cool. Oh, right. Well, we'll look forward to that. See, I've given you the idea. You got the IP now, Jim. Yeah. You got the mobile library of dreams. I think it's a good one.
It could happen.
Meaning it won't.
Anything could happen, but you'll have to wait in the queue with everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Before I choke, anything else, sir?
No, that's it. Other than that, I've been very good. I've not actually bought any new equipment.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Or is Teresa within earshot and you didn't?
No, I didn't. So some friends of mine who kind of who don't go into the cellar. They were a bit short of cash, so I helped them out. I gave a donation, and then I did buy. I was organised and bought an early wedding anniversary present as well. So kind of
smart.
And Teresa's birthday present, which he doesn't know about.
Okay.
So that's in
Does now?
no, I'm getting well ahead. That's not till October, but I saw something like I'm having buy that now before I forget.
Nice.
So I've been very organised like that.
Oh, okay, blimey, that's really organised, making the rest of it look like shit. Thanks for that, Jim. Good
My
work.
pleasure.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank.
I've got on for my sister or my brother-in-law's birthday like next week, so I'm not that organised.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, it's your brother-in-law, sod him.
Well, he's in Australia at the minute, so I've got a bit of leeway till he gets back.
You've got an extra day as well, then.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. And you can say it got lost in the post, send it over to him. Easy. You've got loads of excuses there. Cool. Okay, then we'll move on then to you, Elton. Anything happening, mate?
No, just video games again. So I don't want to retread that.
Okie dokie.
Yeah,
no
it.
worries, no problems at all. So we'll then move on to you, Mr. B. How's it going with you?
How's it going with me? Again, quite a quiet week, but did manage to get out of the house and go and watch a film.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little film you might have heard of, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, no. Not at all.
Yeah, go on.
Now, I've heard warnings about this film, about certain things that it contains. Like, lots of things about animals being poked with pointy sticks and stuff like that, which didn't sound very nice. So normally we go as a family. It's like a bit of an outing, it's like a fun thing to do. We all go, speculate on the film, talk about it afterwards. Nice little trip. But this time, whereas I thought it was just going to be me, it was actually me and Maria that went, and Ree stayed indoors because she didn't want to watch any of the stuff about anything that happens with the animals in it. I've got to say, I was expecting things to be a lot worse than I actually got. Don't get me wrong. Parts featuring animals in it. I'm not going to give any context as to why they were used, but pretty much sad. Those bits, especially the outcome of certain things as well. Yeah, very sad. The film in general, it was okay. There's there is a certain hero that has been bigged up in this. He's on the poster. Shall I say who?
I just say don't say. Well, just
okay.
Yeah.
If you've been following the actual build up to this film, you'll know there is a certain very well established Marvel hero that makes his first appearance in this one, and he does punching things very well, because that's all that happens with him. He keeps turning up to punch a thing, gets pushed to one side, disappears for a couple of minutes, and turns up again and punches some more stuff, and then gets pushed aside, and then turns up again, punches some more stuff, blah blah blah.
Wash, repeat.
Yeah, and it's like, so is this what all you're doing with this character? This all powerful being. This is what we've got. This is what you're coming to the table with. Okay, fair enough. So not the massive event that it's a bit like, how Boba Fett got bigged up for Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, and was in it for a total of like about 6 minutes. Right? That's kind of the same sort of effect that the appearance of this character is. He should have meant big things for the Marvel universe, but
didn't.
No, and he's played too much for comedy by the actor that plays him as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but it's no. You can keep that one.
Okay.
It does resolve the whole Guardians of the Galaxy story.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves it in a nice place, even though certain actors are refusing to come back again now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to say which ones.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, in general, it ends it in a good place. It's an okay film. It's very downbeat. I've got to say. Yeah, it's not the happy. It's not the totally happy film that you've been expecting from other sort of like episodes of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's this one. I don't know. Maybe I can feel James Gunn's bitterness just seeping through a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think if I was him, I wouldn't have come back to make this at all after the way he was treated.
No.
Yeah. A couple of actors. It's quite funny listening to how certain cast members have approached this problem. You've got Chris Pratt, who's like, now, come on, guys, let's all sit down and talk about this, and maybe we can work this out. And you've got Dave Bautista at the other end who's gone, nah, fuck them. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
He's made his feelings
Plain.
clear in no uncertain fucking terms. And I don't hear anybody from Disney arguing with him, but then, would you? Because I fucking wouldn't.
No.
Bloke's built like a brick shit house, shall we say? Sorry, brick shit house.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, he doesn't want to get paid, so
Yeah, but he ain't coming back. That's it.
No,
he's on. That's it. So, yeah. But there you go. So, yeah, it's okay. You might want to wait until it goes on to Disney Plus.
I think I am. I am.
See what you think. Rocket's always good in this. But I've got to say, I think Mantis is turning out to be my favourite character in it, just because of the way she loses her temper.
Right.
Yeah, she suits kind of getting angry very well, I think.
Okay.
So, but yeah, an okay film. Nothing outstanding. Good soundtrack again. But then that's what we've come to expect from one of those movies,
Yeah. So all in all, just
all in all, yeah. I will say this. If there are people going into this and they haven't seen the Christmas special, then there's certain things that are said. You're going to sit, people will sit there going, "I beg your pardon."
Excuse me, what? Yeah.
What, this person's connected to this person now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Which
really...
is a shame, because the Christmas special was dog shit.
I didn't think it was that bad at all. I liked Kevin Bacon being in it.
Well,
I thought it was quite a laugh.
That's good.
But you know what? There you go. Each to their own.
Each to their own, exactly. So...
Indeed.
Yeah, cool.
So apart from that, that's it really for me this week.
Right, okay. Cool. In which case, for me, my week, right? Okay. We have the Saga of the Bird, the pigeon, Pigeon 2 Electric Boogaloo, which landed in the garden after our situation of pigeon dead. Lol. Basically, this time round, I'm sitting there working away, and another pigeon has landed in the garden, and I get the same repeat as last time. Mum just kind of wandering through. Oh, pigeons there? Yeah? All right. Yeah, this one looks quite ill. It's raining. He looks really cold. Okay, it's a pigeon, Mum. Okay. 5 minutes later. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see if he's okay. Mum, he's just sitting there on the rock. What you want? So she goes out. She goes, "Oh, I've taken care of it." Okay, fine. Right, fine. What are you
not
doing?
In an Al Pacino fashion.
No, not in an Al Pacino fashion.
Use it on the rock.
No, not in an Al Pacino fashion. So I'm like, okay, fine, fair enough. I look out the window and there's this miserable-looking pigeon sitting on a rock. Anyway.
Not wearing a tea cozy with a hole cut in the top for its head or anything like that.
No, not quite. I get home, and a message comes through from Mum. He looks really miserable. So I've given him some. So I've given him some seed, and I think he might be in pain. So I've laced the seed with paracetamol. So
there is a joke in there, something about that with parrots.
Paracetamol, yeah, exactly. But
why can you get only aspirin in the jungle?
Because the paracetamol, hey! But
Did she even check that the bird's not allergic? Because, some people are.
Yeah, well...
Make him explode.
How do you check if a pigeon is allergic?
Excuse
me, sir.
You ask it.
Yeah, pardonnez-moi.
How else are you going to know? You asked the question. Most pigeons are very private and they won't actually say. But,
How you feeling? Anyway.
So, why are you here? Are you going? You're going on the way to the government. Why is that? Coo.
Are you going to overthrow the government?
Yeah. Well, it's in a little berry and sunglasses. So it's aviators. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a small AK-47 under one wing.
That's right. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's an apparent. Well, when I came round by the next day, she said, ever since I've given it that paracetamol, it seems really weird. And it's like, what? And the pigeon, no joking, if there was ever a pigeon that was literally one caftan and a fucking sitar away from being like... being in the 60s, it was that pigeon. That pigeon
is the wisest pigeon in the land.
That pigeon was seeing things no pigeon was meant to see.
Kaleidoscope eyes.
Exactly.
Did it sit there and go, to see into oneself, one must first have a self to see into?
Exactly. Yeah. He's sitting there, oh, tell us, mighty pigeon, tell us your secrets. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Doing, ding, ding, ding. So, fucking Dalai Lama of pigeons zoned out of his fucking gourd on some paracetamol.
It's the love guru.
I have seen the future.
Eating and cheating.
Eating and cheating. So yeah. So that was a thing. Anyway, so eventually, say what you like, it worked because the next day, pigeon gets up, fucks off, goes up onto the fence and flies away. So. Well,
you could have said them keels over stone dead.
No.
There was a thud.
No, but that's the thing. So I started putting on Facebook the fact that, I'm wondering why there are so many fucking pigeons dying in this garden. And then, as I'm typing that, and I'm working at the computer and I'm sort of typing this status in, suddenly, like Kryptonian kind of like Superman coming from Krypton. This fucking thing out the corner of my eye, no joking, comes down like a rocket. I can't even tell you what it was. I have no idea what it was. It came down and it literally hit the garden, and so hard that it puffed up leaves. It literally leaves went up in the air. This thing just went thud, poof. I'm literally like to Mum. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Is that like Mr. Bean when he hits the floor?
Yeah, like Mr. Bean when he pulls the cracker. It was just that this is a flash of light, And I thought, oh Christ, what on earth is that?
It's a chicken from another planet.
No,
it's affected by the sun's rays, and you'll make it grow up, and it'll have a secret identity, but it'll grow up to be called Kent.
Kent. Hold on. I think that needs a bit of a. There you go.
Thank you.
So I go to go out there, and as I do, something else comes straight down behind it, and no joking, there was a bird of prey the size of a cat. I mean, this thing was fucking enormous, and it comes straight down on whatever the poor sod that fucking hit that ground comes straight down on it. All I can see is two little birdie legs up in the air, and this fucking great big bird of prey thing, and it comes down, and it literally plucks the thing on the ground. You're seeing feathers flying all over the place, and then the bird of prey just looks at me casually with one claw. It just kind of breaks the neck of whatever the fuck it is on the ground, picks it up, and then fucks off.
Did it look you in the eye as it did it?
Yeah, it literally was like
it was a warning.
It was like It was like Meet the Fockers. It was like, Circle of Trust. I'm watching you, Focker. It's like
that's
two
a gang thing, I think.
Yeah,
What you just witnessed there as
facing
an
me down.
offing.
It was. So now we have the answer. We now know what it was that was taking the pigeons out. There's some kind. Well, actually, we've seen it since, and this is going to sound really odd. Please do not think I am being nuts, but we have identified it. It is a buzzard.
A buzzard?
A buzzard.
What, in Bromley?
Yes, the Bromley buzzard.
The buzzard of Bromley.
Yeah, no. When I say buzzard, I'm not talking about sort of like vulture style fucking condor 16-foot long wingspan sort of thing. No,
you're feeling a bit off. You look up and it's circling you.
If you look up a British buzzard, they are like kind of halfway between sort of eagles and kestrels. They're kind of a halfway house. They are big.
An F-22 jet fighter.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we've got one, and we think it's hiding in the sort of nearby sort of like foresty area in the park just over the way, and it's sort of taking up residence.
Wow, it's taking out the local
pigeon populace. That's why, and that is also why we haven't seen Richie Sunak round our way, because he's so small that this thing would have had him out.
He's food for the kids, mate. That's what that is.
Yeah, they would have had him out. Yeah, he would have just vanished.
He's like just one claw. That's it. Just take that off.
Yeah. I've got a new policy. As the bird comes and takes him off. Anyway, so that was the bird. That's the bird saga sorted.
Can I ask, by the way, do you think that is why the cat ran into your house?
Yes.
It's scared shitless of this fucking B-52 style avian that flies over your area.
Yeah.
Was the cat the buzzard in disguise?
Oh. This is all spooky stuff. I'm sure that we have buzzard.
God, I've got an Elvis song forming in my head now.
What's that?
It looks like a tomcat. Looks like a tomcat. He's a buzzard in disguise.
Yes, you are, buzzard in disguise. He's got a 16-foot wingspan. He hides it under a frame.
Take that, Martin Thomas. There you go. Go on, deal with that. Pick the bones out of those. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Let's make it as random as possible. Come on, let's do it.
Elvis cat buzzard disguise. There you go. Black dog without context. What the fuck was that?
It's all without context.
Even with context, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So we had that, and then in more sensible realms, I saw 2 films this week. The first one I'll talk about is absolute dog shit, which is called Reminiscence. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it.
It's Hugh Jackman, and what's her face from oh god, what's her name?
Story Hugh Jackman and what's her face from Thingy.
Yeah, it was she in Star Wars Episode 1. No,
that film about vampires.
No, she was in the Shining sequel and also in Dune. Oh, Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
go on.
Silo.
Yeah, she was also in Silo, but this isn't Silo. No,
okay.
No, it's imagine it's like we start off with it's the future, and we know it's the future because basically every building is covered from head to foot in neon, and the water levels have risen, and we've got a sea wall that's like 60 foot high, and we're in Miami, and it's okay, fine. And essentially, the world has gone to shit in some unknown cataclysm war thing. And people are so depressed that they have these services where they can revisit dreams and revisit memories and nostalgia. We call that Netflix these days. Well, hey! Anyway, so no. And basically what happens is Hugh Jackman's this guy who's one of these guys who leads people into their memories and creates these holographic memories. And there's this whole thing that if you spend too long in these memory things, they get the memories themselves get burnt into your mind till there's nothing else in your mind, and that's the only thing you can live is the same memory over and over again. So you got to be careful. And then there's a conspiracy about landowners and people whose memories get recorded, and memories that get recorded get admissible in evidence, and there's a plot to sort of blackmail people. It's a really, really confusing pile of arse. And then what happens is it throws into this whole thing that Hugh Jackman's kind of his girlfriend, Rebecca Ferguson, walked out on him for reasons he never quite understood. And so he's kind of addicted to going into his own memories and looking at them. And you get this kind of whole Inception thing of, is it a dream? Is it real? Is this a memory? Is this a flashback? Kind of thing. And you think, oh, okay, cool, I get this. I understand this. Is this a tin of soup? Is this a pile of socks that you haven't done again? Oh, is this a pile of washing that you need to put in the dishwasher? All these kind of things. And you think, okay, I get it. So we're going to have an Inception style. Is it a dream? Is it not? What's going on? And then the film just goes, you know what? Pfft, forget all that. I tell you what, we'll just have a detective story whereby, you know, he's trying to find his girlfriend. She may be somewhere, and he's working with a partner, and she's in love with him, and there's a love triangle, and it's like Inception written by someone who watched the trailer for Inception, and then read a lot of Mills and Boon novels, and then decided at the last minute that they could make a detective novel as well. So it is to the detective genre, to the science fiction detective genre, what Twilight was to vampires. You just sit there going, huh? Yeah. What? Why? I don't care. And I spent the entire thing just going, I don't care. All the way through. It's so fucking insipid.
Didn't even have a Michael Caine type character in the background going rage.
No, it didn't have that. It didn't have a Tom Hardy kind of going. No. I was born in the dark and molded by it. So there was that. Reminiscence. Don't bother. Basically, it's a bad memory. Ha ha. And then the other thing I watched was The Evil Dead Rise.
Oh,
the new one. Yes, I went and saw that. Why I went to see it, I have literally no idea. I mean, it was like the sunniest day in the weekend, and I thought, you know what? I want to be in a dank, dark, depressing old building being hunted by zombies. Nothing makes me happier. There's a lot of it that's really good. And if you like gore, and you like your gore imaginative, then this is really, on par with the last remake. And the only thing I would say is the Deadites aren't quite as, shall we say, they are malevolent, but they're not quite as comedic as they were in the Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell Evil Deads.
Right.
They're much more kind of up for just basically torturing the fuck out of you and then, essentially causing all sorts of mayhem. And then the ending is a bit weird. I can't say anything without spoiling it. But the one thing that it does have is it has characters who have Prometheus levels of fucking idiocy.
Stupid people doing stupid things, as I call it.
Yeah. So for example, I have a record. I have two records that I have found in a basement, and a book that are right beside. The book has teeth,
right?
And you cut yourself accidentally on one of the teeth, picking up the book. The blood drips on the book. The book starts to breathe, absorbs the blood, And then you think, after seeing that, you think, you know what, I best play these records. You never know what might come out of this.
Mm.
And then you play the record the first time, and it says, oh, it's, we've communicated with the other side, and there's things going on the other side, and, the Vatican are going to go and try and open this book and do all these things. So we're going to do these incantations. Do you, at this point, turn over the record to play the other side, or do you go, hang on, something's fucked with that book, best I leave it alone? No. Guess which one they pick.
I thought you're missing the other option, which is, you know what? Why don't we, for a change, play these records backwards? I'm sure nothing bad will come of that while reading this book with teeth.
Mm. Yeah. So it's got that horror movie, B-movie horror thing of instantly you know that anyone sensible would not do the things that some of them do.
Yep.
However, once the action gets going, and it does get going, trust me on that. Once it gets going, you're kind of like, okay, you know what? Fine, I'm down for a bit of Deadite action. And so, on the one hand, if you want crazy go gonzo, Evil Dead, cut to the chase, all the nasty bits from 1 and 2, basically jammed into a single film, then this is for you. If you want something that homages the originals, you get a little bit of that, but not so bad that you're sitting there going, oh, for fuck's sake. There's a couple of gags that they throw in there, like a chainsaw and a couple of other things that I won't spoil, but there you go, oh, right, okay, because this is the Evil Dead movie, this has to happen. But the rest of it, yeah, it's just got that sort of B-movie sort of sense of silly things have to happen to make the story happen.
Yeah.
But once it gets going, yeah, it's fine. I had a good time with it. I mean, as far as you can, watching people's, basically killing other people using pieces of glass and whatnot. But yeah, no, it was all right, and it was a lot better than I was expecting. Let's put it that way. So that was that. What else happened? I'm trying to think what else happened. I finished Jedi Survivor. Yeah. Fuck that game. Fuck
Really?
it right in the arse.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a whole thing with games that I find, if you play a game and it's teaching you something, it's like, right, okay, it's teaching you something, so you're going to have to use this in a big battle or cleverly in an environment or something like that. And and then what it does is the game pushes you towards story moments that you can't avoid. And you go, right, okay, fine, I'm going to play this bit. And then the game punishes you for basically not grinding the game for 72 hours to get good. So, and that's exactly what this does. It pushes you along all the way, trying to get you to do the story all the way. Push. If you take too long doing stuff, it starts to prompt you, starts to push you towards doing things. So you can't really build your character up. You can if you just ignore shit, but if you just ignore it. But I'm not like that. Once it kind of asks you about 4 or 5 times to go X, Y, or Z, you're like, okay, fine. And I go and do a certain thing, and you run into a famous character, which won't surprise many people if they played the first one, but you run into a famous character, and because it's a famous character, you know the outcome of this famous character being in the film or in a game means that nothing can happen to this famous character. This famous character has to either escape or do something, and nothing will happen to them. So when you get put in an arena with this famous character, and this famous character basically beats your ass like a fucking Cherokee drum 72 fucking times, even on the easiest of easy levels, because you got so frustrated you ramped the fucking difficulty down to 0.
Yeah.
You just think, why am I doing this? And you know that the scene... You're playing the scene with a different character entirely, so you know that the outcome isn't going to affect the main story. It is literally just something they've plonked in the middle of the game just to go, aha, look, it's that person that you know and this person that you know, and they're going to have a fight. And you're like, yeah, well, I know this person isn't around anymore, and I know this person is around all the time, so I know how this thing's going to end. Why are you forcing me to fight this fucking stupid battle where one of the characters can insta-kill you? Literally insta-kill you. And you have to do it with no fucking health, and it just chases you get chased around. It's like the fucking bit in Monty Python, The Life of Brian, with a little geezer running around in circles until the big guy goes, oh, I think I'm about to have a cardiac arrest, and falls over. That is literally the only way I finished that particular scene. I literally just ran around and every now and again went, hit the person with lightsaber, run away, run away. Because if he turned round and even looked at me funny, if he looked at me boss-eyed, I'd just die. That's it. Game over. It's just like... so I just was like, oh, fuck this. Help me. Lord Jesus, help me. It was like throwing a 5-year-old into a fucking den of tigers. It was just like, what are you doing? What is this battle? What is this fight all about? And then the battle fucking ends. The story goes, nah, it didn't really matter anyway. On with the main story. And you're like, what? I've literally snapped my controller in half, ground my teeth into powder. I have literally shat out my organs in pure rage, having to play the same fucking sequence over and over and over again. And the game just goes, that was fun, wasn't it? Remember that guy from the other films? Like, cunt! You fucking ruined my life. And then the rest of the game is piss easy, and you just piss through it. And it's like, oh, so it wasn't even like the end of the game boss. It was just an interlude. And now we go to the left for an interlude, which will stop you from playing for at least 24 hours while you sit there beating your head against a brick wall, crying for your mother because this game has just become impossible for no discernible reason other than to make you feel like you've got some member berries. Fuck you, we've got your money. And that was it. So, yeah, fuck Jedi Survivor. Fuck it right in the arse. May it burn in hell and everyone involved in it. And lastly, because nature abhors a vacuum and we got to make this thing last at least an hour. What was I going to say? We had Eurovision, didn't we? We all watched Eurovision.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And on the Black Dog Facebook group, I thought, you know what? I'm not giving Elon any more time. I'm not going back on Twitter. Nope, no way. Not just to mock fucking Eurovision and have a laugh. And I thought, you know what? On the Black Dog Facebook group, there's an option now to create chats. Great, I thought. Let's have a look at that, I thought. I created a chat. People got involved. We all started chatting. It was quite a laugh. People were saying silly things. Darren, you were there. Elton, you were there. Jim, you were there. Everyone was having a little bit of a laugh. People were saying nice things, bad things, silly things, mocking. Everyone trying to come up with silly things to say. And then we got to the scoring. And the scoring was boring. No two ways about it. Boring. And we were all just going, oh, for God's sakes, there's 32 countries got to come out and give us answers, and then we got to go through it again. And
wait when Narnia comes on.
Exactly. When we get the Zardoz vote, please come and give me a shout.
Didn't they have the bloke from the Netherlands who wanted Yo-Yo Ding Dong again?
No, they had
Yo-Yo Ding Dong.
Euphemism.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, hold on. Anyway, and then I said, oh, for God's sakes, we're only halfway through. Please just let me die, sort of thing. At which point, our friends on Facebook who say, these are your groups, these are your chats, these are your people, get involved, came down and went, you can't fucking say that, mate. Slam, and shut down the chat. And yes, and then I got a warning, and then I got blanked, and then I had to kind of contest it, and then I had to start another chat up, all in the space of like 5 minutes. At which point, Facebook then sent me a message saying, you know you're the only person who can see this message, but we take suicide very seriously. And maybe...
That's why we banned you, to improve your mood.
Exactly. He's like, and he goes, so exactly. It goes, so, if you need any help, you need to reach out to one of your friends. And it's like, motherfucker, even if I was serious, I can't, because you just fucking blocked me. And then it was like, and then it's like, and then also we can get you involved, get you to speak to some groups. There's some anti-suicide groups and suicide support groups on Facebook, and it's like, I can't get to them because you just fucking blocked me. And it's like, or you could go to some of these sites offline, like the Samaritans and all these sort of things. He's like, thanks, I might have to because I can't talk to anyone on fucking Facebook. So, yeah. So, on the one hand, and I was saying this to Carol, and it's like, on the one hand, it's really good. This thing's come along, and it's picked up that something's going on, and gone, right, okay, fine. However, it's also not taken context. It's just looked for 3 words. And that's where it bothers me, because there's no human involved at this point. There's no way I could turn around and go, it's ironic. Look at the rest of the chat. We were bored to death. Yeah. And there's no recourse, no comeback, no nothing. They literally, if it wasn't for me responding quickly and going, okay, yes, thank you very much for letting me know. Thank you. Yes, I'll take all the advice. Thank you very much. I would still be off of Facebook right now, and I wouldn't have got that second chat line up. I literally had to do all of this, and that's the thing. It was like there was this kind of how to solve your problems and get over like negative thoughts and all this kind of thing coming at me from Facebook, and it's like, and I literally did it in like 30 seconds. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I will. Yes, I'll look into it. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Make a new chat. It's like, so. It wasn't even like, there wasn't even someone on the other end of the line going, maybe, we could talk to you and help you out. It's like, nothing. There was no human involved in that interaction whatsoever. It was just like, as long as you click yes 4 times and click OK once and press a checkbox to say, yes, I've read it, Facebook are like, well, we've done our bit. Right, fine, anyway.
Son, you're on your own.
Away we go.
And away we go. Go back to talking about your suicide on the Eurovision. It's like, oh, right, okay. So it just got shown as the sham it was, basically. Yeah, anyway, that was just a little mini rant. I understand entirely if people have negative thoughts, suicidal thoughts, absolutely get something done, go see someone, talk to someone, sort it out, absolutely. And, I'd rather Facebook was more, deal with it than don't. But if you're going to deal with it, then deal with it. Don't just leave it to a bot to basically find these things and then leave it to a bot to say, oh, everything's all right now. Because you haven't sorted anything. You've just literally just had a bot go, we found something that sounds like self-harm or suicide. Okay. We'll send him this questionnaire. Has he clicked yes to all of it? Yes. Oh, brilliant. Well, he's cured then. It's just like, how utterly hollow is that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was utterly pointless. Anyway, so there you go. But thank you to everyone who did take part in the Eurovision chat on the Facebook group. Next time we will do it. Next time it comes around, we'll do it again with a little bit more prep and a few more rules to get around having it collapse again. Anyway, right. So that's my week. There you go. I will go into a little bit of feedback. We have a tiniest bit of feedback, which was from for Training Day, which we watched, and I think, generally speaking, we all liked it, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lovely, lovely. Good work. Nice choice there, Elton.
Thank you very much.
And the feedback we had was from Anthony James. And he writes, I don't usually do my Black Dog homework. What? Anyway, either I've seen it already, or I've not bothered about watching it again, or I'm not bothered about actually watching the movie in the first place. Okay. On this occasion, though, I did want to see it, so I went to the assignment set. So I did the assignment set. I have to say, I enjoyed it a lot. I agree with you guys that the pink wallet seemed too convenient, but aside from that, it was a solid film. I didn't know Denzel was the bad guy in this. Influences from other movies made me assume that at every point Denzel was just coming across as a little bit dodgy. And that was for genuine reasons to train or test the rookie before taking him under his wing. It was only when he pulled the trigger on Roger that the penny finally dropped. And even at that point, I was still trying to see how they were testing Ethan Hawke, looking for bulletproof vests or questioning whether it was blanks and squibs being used. Yes, I enjoyed this a lot. Thanks for pushing me into getting around to seeing it. Thank you. Anthony James. Cool. Well, thank you very much there, Anthony. And, yeah, well, that's the whole point, isn't it? You try these films out because we're watching them. Go have a look, see what you think. Come and talk to us. Tell us, like Anthony did there. You know, leave a bit of feedback on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. Whether or not we're going to get much feedback for this week's film is slightly more debatable, as it is on the streaming service Shudder, which is available through Amazon, but obviously has a cost amount involved in it. So just be aware of that if you do go to watch it. So jump on Shudder, subscribe, watch the film, unsubscribe before they take the money out at the end of the month. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. But anyway, that's that. And because we are going to talk about this week's film. God, I'm all fingers and thumbs today, aren't I? This week, we are going to talk about Glorious. Roll the jingle. Right, so Glorious is a 2022 American comedy horror directed by Rebecca McKendry, starring Ryan Quarton. I think that's how they pronounce it.
I think it's pronounced Ryan Reynolds, or if wet, this bloke.
Yeah, and J.K. Simmons, who most people will know as either that geezer from the from Whiplash, or from numerous Spider-Man movies. The film involves a heartbroken man who encounters a strange, all-knowing entity in a rest stop bathroom stall. Yep. And that's all the description I have of it, really. I can't really say much more without spoilers, so we're not going to do that just yet. The film has no other actors listed on the wiki page, but I know there's a couple. Hold on, there are a couple. I will find them on. There you go. There is Sylvia Grace Krim as Brenda, the character's long-lost love, and Andre Lamar as Gary C., the world's most dedicated toilet stall janitor, and Tordy Clark as a lady called Sharon, which we will get to in a bit because I have a theory on that. And yes, that's it. There are others, but I can't remember. Right, so the movie was released August 18th, 2022 at the Fantasia Festival, and was immediately snapped up by Shudder. So we have absolutely no budget and no box office at all. However, to keep the format running, and because I'm making an absolute pig's ear of everything else of this podcast this week, let's just do it anyway. Jim, what do you think it made at the box office?
3 million burnt Polaroids.
Right, 3 million, but nice. Darren?
Oh, I think it made lots of blood and an eyeball on a toilet roll dispenser.
Nice. And Elton, what do you think it made?
A cuddly toy.
A cuddly toy. Nice. I love you very very, very much. Anyway, yeah. Like I say, we have no idea, absolutely no idea how much it made, and we probably never will find out until Shudder goes under, and then we find out through their records in history. Anyway,
By which time nobody really cares.
By which time no one will give a shit. Well, we might if we come back to it again. Right, so we're going to do the round the table quick impressions before we get to the spoilers. So before people who haven't seen this film have seen it, let's go round the table. So let's see what everyone thought. So we'll start with you, Elton. What did you think of Glorious?
Well, I saw the trailer along with you guys, and were chortling quite heavily along with it, going, "Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be really good." And I had the exact opposite effect when I watched it.
Right.
I thought it was bobbins.
Okay. For the absolute bobbins. Lovely.
I'm afraid so. I was very, very disappointed.
That's cool. That is okay. And what about you, Jim?
I quite enjoyed it. I really didn't know what to expect. And I was quite pleased it delivered what I was thinking it might do. Because this could easily be the plot of a trauma film.
Yes.
Thankfully, it wasn't a trauma film or a modern-day equivalent of trying to do a trauma film.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And what about you, Dal?
Pretty much like Jim. I actually quite enjoyed this. Yeah, I thought it was way out enough to, it's one of those. I beg your fucking pardon. What a being of universal makeup inside a toilet? What is this?
What is this?
Yeah, what is this? But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I like the freakiness of it all.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, as I sort of alluded to last week, this was my pick. I have seen it before. And I was going to say the first time I watched it, it gave me very kind of bad taste, early Peter Jackson kind of vibes. Yeah. That sort of cross of horror, gore, outlandish idea, all thrown into a mix with enough enthusiasm that some of it sticks, some of it doesn't, pardon the pun. And and I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of quirky enough and didn't go where I thought it did, which kind of helped. So watching it a second time, I thought much the same. I enjoyed the humour a little bit more, knowing it's like watching Evil Dead 2 the first time. You kind of watch that and you kind of go, no, the first one was really gory and scary, and now you're watching the second one going, am I really supposed to be laughing? And yeah, it was the same here, but the humour landed better this time round. Right, so there you go. So a fairly mixed bag of reactions. We've got positive and we have negative. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you can get hold of Shudder, or shall we say some other means, I say nothing more than that. Then
you could go to the cinema to watch it.
You could go to the cinema to watch it. Special screenings to watch it. I'm sure the Prince Charles Cinema will be running it at some point.
The Prince? No, we're not changing our name. Charles Cinema.
Yeah. The Prince Charles. It's not that one. Cinema. Yes. We maybe that. Then yes. Like I say, you can see it and then watch it and then come and join in the conversation and send us some feedback. Otherwise, beyond this point, here be spoilers. Or rather, it should be. It sounds. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Leave that alone, mate. God dear.
Blimey, I think you need to adjust the flush on that.
I
think fills up a little bit too much as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that cistern's got some work on it. what was that? 75-litre cistern. What the hell was going on there?
Put a
Anyway,
break in there.
yeah, I was going to say, might want to save a bit of water. Anyway, yes, so there will be spoilers from here on in. Please don't listen if you haven't already seen it, or if you just don't care, carry on. We don't mind. It's your life. Right, let's get down to it. So, we've got two halves over here. We've got Elton. We got you not liking it. We got Jim liking it. Darren liking it. Me seeing it a second time. So obviously, let's just address the elephant in the room. There. Let's go to you, Elton. What?
Oh, I'm an elephant, am I? Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
it's a turn of phrase, you moron.
I'm the elephant.
You are the elephant. Yeah. Elephant Elton, that's what we call you, and that's what Amanda calls you as well.
Yeah.
You know, for
No
special
Very
moment.
different reasons.
Why didn't I like this? So, while I was watching this, it reminded me of two films that I quite enjoyed, which are very similar.
Go on.
That is Buried and Phone Booth.
Right, okay, the bottle episode kind of thing.
Yeah, and where you have someone either on the end of a phone or someone who you can't see, someone narrating away to the other person, it's a voice in the head, it could be anything like that. And sometimes they can be fun, and sometimes they can make you think and go, at the end. And with this, I think I did have that moment towards the very end, but by then, it had already lost me, I'm afraid. I found it very stale. It just held up in places for far too long. And I don't think... I think J.K. Simmons was a good voice for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the right voice for it, though. It was softer than what I was expecting in places. And then when the comedy came in, it felt a little forced. There was almost slapstick stuff in the middle of it. Like when he's having a pee. And it's... normally, that I'd be rolling all over the place with that. That should be hilarious. I don't know what it was. It didn't work for me, though.
Interesting.
It was just, come on. Okay, right. Maybe it was labelled. It had a big stick with a big red flag on it going, this is a joke, and we're going to rub this around in your face a little bit while he's having a pee, and here's the joke. Here it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. And again.
Yeah.
And again.
Nice. I see what you're doing there.
But, yeah, it just... I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I think once I saw him go in towards the restroom, toilets, whatever it is, you kind of knew, okay, he's in here for the long haul.
Yeah.
And that was 10 minutes in. And it was a film that was an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It felt a lot longer.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes you watch these films, and I don't think these types of films where you have a main character and then a voice, they don't deserve to be 2 hours long. You can't sustain that with an audience and with characters, and I think it'd be very rare to be able to sustain that for 2 hours. So an hour and 20 is around about right.
Yeah.
But this felt like it was a barnard too long already.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, has anyone got something they want to bring up about that? I mean, did it feel too long to you guys? I mean, I know you guys preferred it over what Elton did, but I'm just, how did the pacing feel for you?
Felt all right.
Yeah? Because, Jim?
I thought it was kind of just about right. I think. Well, why to sort of leave it on the shorter side? Was sort of my feeling on it. Kind of, Yeah, it just moved along nicely enough.
Mm.
And say, it sort of flew by for me because it was kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, where we're going now with this?
Yeah.
And it was kind of that, you know, well, I say it was working for me though. That's the thing. But I say, I was glad though. In retrospect, that I think they were probably under a certain amount of pressure. Put another 15 minutes on it because and certainly at one stage, it's kind of. I think probably that's the limit from what you could actually legally release as a feature film.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I felt the running time was fine. And
yeah. No, the reason I sort of focus in on that and what Elton's just said there was because when I watched it this time round, I put it up on Facebook that I was watching it, and Martin Thompson actually put down something. I guess that counts as feedback. We should do it next episode, but actually I think it's relevant to the conversation, which is he said that essentially it was a Twilight Zone episode, and when I watched it this time round, I was kind of more acutely aware of kind of like, I know where this is going, I know where this needs to get to, and I kind of, even though I enjoyed it, I know what you were saying, Elton, that it's this kind of moments of just like, okay, now it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember watching something like The Hitcher.
Yeah.
Where there's like 3 acts and there's certain bits that have to happen and those bits are coming, but then there's bits just sort of in the car chatting and you think, right, okay, just here we go, come on. Come on. I like the film, but just come on.
It's an extra 10 seconds here, there and everywhere. There was a moment where Gary came into the room and the door was slowly closing. And Wes, you would have thought that he would have been scrambling all over that to try and get to that door, to try and stop it from closing. And yet it was, no, pause, sit here for a second. Okay, now I'm going to react to the door and try and scramble across. And it felt like it was just being stretched. Like someone had the dough on the table and they had the old rolling pin out and just squeezing it out a little bit more where it should be. It's a bit fat over there, so let's squeeze it out. And it works. And you're right, there's nothing wrong with getting like a Twilight... is it Twilight Zone? The Twilight Zone episode or an X-Files episode and elongating them into a film, as long as you've got the stuff and the weight to carry it along. And when you remove one whole character, and a big character at that, to just down to a voice where someone can't react to that person, then I think you're pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, just the one thing I kind of agree with, but I think I don't know whether that's because I got the double whammy of seeing it a second time and seeing Martin's feedback almost instantly as I posted it, and I'm thinking, shit, that's in my head now. So I was kind of watching it with that in the back of my mind, going, actually, no, he's right. It is a Twilight Zone episode.
We didn't spoil it. Territory, aren't we? So
yeah.
I mean, there is a twist to the end.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? There's plenty of films with twists at the end, but it's kind of... Twilight Zone isn't the only thing that does it, you know what I mean?
No.
I felt this was more... I felt the twist was more... I don't know... It didn't feel like an M. Night Shyamalan style twist.
Oh, God, no.
If you know what I mean. This felt more... worked and played for.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think it is a Twilight Zone style story. That kind of that rug pull at the end of going da-da.
Yeah,
I think there's more. It was more integrated than just the sting in the tail.
Yeah,
see what I mean?
No, I get that. I totally get that. No, I think when I was kind of agreeing with him with the Twilight Zone episode in terms of length. And in terms of the bottle episode nature of it. Because funny enough, over the weekend, and I didn't put it in my week because it it's one of those things. It's just something you see. We had
You went to the toilet.
Yeah, I went to the toilet. Yeah, and there was the son of Cthulhu in the cupboard next door.
Yeah.
And George Michael was there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just picking bits of cool. No,
Looking for fast love.
no, yeah, never mind. Steady. No, I'd literally watched over the weekend. I watched some old movies on Talking Pictures. And one of the things they had, or one of the other channels nearby, had a Twilight Zone episode, which was the one which was in a cafe. And there's a guy who's like the counter worker, sort of like dealing coffee, sort of waiter over the coffee over the counter, and he's got like a little hat on, and he's just sitting there. And this other bloke comes in from the rain, and he's just got this black coat on and the black hat on. And he just keeps asking for coffee, and eventually it comes down to the fact that the customer is from Mars, and he's here to basically sound out planet Earth for an invasion, which is going to use everyone for meat or something. And he's drinking the coffee, and he's like, "Yep, see, it doesn't matter. Enjoy it while you can, friend. We're coming. We're going to fucking have you all out," sort of thing. At which point, the guy behind the counter after all this conversation of sort of like not believing him, then believing him, and all this sort of thing. The guy behind the counter suddenly goes, "Well, you're a bit late. We're already here from Venus." And he lifts his hat up, and he's got like an eye in the middle of his forehead, and the hat's been covering it up. And so it wasn't just the twist that they were both aliens; they were both coming to invade Earth. It was the back and forth nature of drawing that drama out between two characters and keeping them in that little tiny like set of the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And that to me felt pretty much what Glorious was doing. You had the setup, you had the conversations, and the rug pull was part of it, but the rug pull wasn't all of it.
No.
So when Martin Thompson said Twilight Zone, and I kind of agreed now, I wasn't thinking of just the rug pull. I was thinking of the small sort of bottle episode nature of it, and the way that you get two characters in the room and you make a compelling story of them having a verbal sparring match until such time as the rug pull happens, rather than just, oh, ta-da, it was all a dream, or something like that.
And then he turned into a pie.
Exactly. And in his head flew off into space. It was a spaceship all along. So no, I don't just think it was just the rug pull. I think it was the whole nature of its construction. But anyway, I'm not knocking it for that. It was just something that was suddenly in my head. And then when you're saying about the runtime, I'm like, I can see it now. I can understand that. Don't necessarily hate the film though. I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, Darren.
Yes.
Hello. So go on in. What did you get this? Did you with the rug pull? Because we'll go straight to that first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the rug pull, did you have any inkling of it? And more importantly, did it feel like a cheaty rug pull, as in like we just suddenly pulled this out of our arse?
No, because I guessed he'd done something quite bad to her.
Yeah.
Right? I guessed that something bad had happened, but I didn't realise it was that bad.
Mm.
That, really who and what he was.
Mm.
I did like that.
Mm.
I mean, I kind of get what they were saying with that. There's a few things linked with. I mean, we're in spoiler territory, so I can say it,
we're in spoiler territory.
There's the whole thing about when he goes on about I thought you were different, to everyone else. Turns out he was just the same. That kind of corresponds with some things I've read about serial killers and whatever. The whole thing of finding that perfect, that person to spend the rest of their lives with, because it is a well-known fact that an awful lot of serial killers never get caught because what happens is, for various reasons, and one of them being is they settle down to a life of normality and they just don't go back to it, and that's it. They never get caught. And this kind of fits in with that, right? So whether it is intentional or not, there's actually some scientific backing for the way his character was, right?
Right.
So I did like that aspect of it, right? That was cool. I did like I liked J.K. Simmons' performance.
Yeah.
In this,
Yeah.
right. It's, I don't know, if he had turned out to be totally evil and he was trying to hoodwink him because he was actually trying to come through to this reality and complete his mission, then I think I would have felt a bit cheated by that. But I thought, when it's like, I want to stop this. I've grown fond of humanity and I don't want this to happen to them. I believed the character, that's what he actually did want. There were certain things that he did along the way that kind of said that, he's not he's not hiding an evil purpose. He actually does mean what he's saying.
Right.
He's been here so long that he actually doesn't want to take everyone out. I mean, I've seen stuff like that before where the person who's coming to destroy the planet actually says, you know what, hold on, wait a minute.
I quite like this.
Yeah, I quite like this. This is it. I like those little chocolate mousses from Pret a Manger. I don't really want them to. If this goes, then I've that's the supply cut off.
Right.
So yeah, I've seen stuff like that.
Well, I was going to say is that was my next question. Did anyone actually believe him? Did anyone believe Gath?
No,
I did.
You didn't. You did.
I did, and it turned out I was right.
Well, were you?
Well, yeah, because in the end, he just went off into the ether and he delivered justice to Ryan's character as well.
What about you, Jim?
At the beginning, when he was burning the photographs, part of my brain did go ping, ping. Why are you showing us the photos? But then I kind of forgot about that. But like Darren, I did sort of think, okay, well, the last flashback is going to be really rough because quite clearly from the start, this relationship has gone seriously fucking tits off. He's sleeping in his car. You know what I mean? And I'm getting the impression he done fuck up really badly somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one way of putting it.
But it's one of the, I'd be intrigued to watch it again, knowing what the end is, because I think it was sort of quite well seeded. I mean, I would say, more thought about this is actually not so much a Twilight Zone episode, it's actually an EC comic style short story.
Yeah.
Because it is that torture and punishment in the name of justice to someone who really, really fucking deserves it.
Yeah. Well, that I was going to say that was the one thing I picked up on watching it this time round was, as I was watching it, I was kind of like, ooh, actually, there's you look at that first picture that he throws in the fire, and you see that and you think, oh, hang on, that doesn't look like her. If you watch it again, when you watch it the second time, it was like, that really doesn't look like her at all.
Ah, okay.
And
interesting.
And then it's sort of like, then you sort of see he's throwing stuff on the fire, and it's the red box is hers, but there's also other stuff in there like shoes and coats and clothes and all this kind of stuff, and you think, why has he got her clothes? Why has he got her shoes? What is going on here? So there's lots of little things that when you see it a second time around, you go, hang on, I think, I think we're not all on the level here. Yeah. So there's lots of interesting stuff where you watch it the second time round and you go, oh right, and it's also a bit like the clue which I picked up this time round, and I will confess, I'm not some kind of major genius here. I had literally been playing the video game Hades like a couple of days back, right? The lady that's picking up all the little pieces of paper at the beginning, that fixes the chocolate machine, yeah. Now this bit's a bit retroactive, but firstly, the first thing that clued me into it. What is the name of the chocolate bar?
I didn't make a note of that.
It's a chocolate sticks, but it's spelled STYX.
Oh, River of Styx.
Yes, River in the Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you look
I didn't notice that. Wow.
and then when you look her name
Or
up,
it could be the band Styx, you know.
Yeah, it could be.
Because it's you, baby. Okay. I'm just
I'm
throwing.
going to have to look that up then.
but if you look up her name, if you actually look her name up as listed on IMDb, her name is Sharon.
Right. Okay.
And Sharon basically is also pronounced. You know, it sounds like Sharon when you see it written. But,
Okay.
But Sharon, Caron,
Well,
the
can
River
I?
Styx.
May I jump in there
Yeah, sure.
with a thought that I had
Mm-hmm.
through it?
Mm-hmm.
Did Prometheus pop into anyone's heads?
Yes, not the film.
No, not the film. Goodness, no. No, the actual Greek god himself.
The whole thing about eating livers and regenerating.
Yeah, I think it was when he was, well, I need a bit of your liver and it regenerates. I was like, I know that story. There's a couple of people living in a lighthouse that we've done a very similar story
Yeah.
on that.
Yes. Hold on. You mentioned it. Ah!
Now I've got the Wikipedia for Prometheus open up here. And
Again, not the film.
not the film. No. He said it made 3 million at the box. No. He's sometimes referred to as the god Titan, the god of fire. And what was he burning?
Yes.
Oh, what was he burning? What was he using outside?
Fire. Yep.
Fire. Yes.
And and that's the thing. It's all Greek myth around that area, isn't it? Because the god of he brought fire to the humans, and for that he was punished by being put on a rock and having his liver pecked out by was it a crow or something like that?
Eagle. Every
Eagle.
morning.
That's it. Yeah.
And it regenerate every night or something.
Yeah, and then Alan would crash it into Moonbase Alpha, and they'd have to get another one. Sorry,
All right. So
Eagle.
it wasn't Maui from Moana then?
No, Maui didn't. No. Kid, honestly, he could go on and on. He could explain every natural phenomenon. No. The
What
sky.
can I say? But hey, you're welcome.
Anyway, sorry. go on.
I'm glad you explained what the pieces. Well, did you explain what the pieces of paper were though? What was all that about? Because I was intrigued by that, but by the time the movie had finished, I was like, "Oh, that was like an hour and 20 ago," but it felt like 3 hours ago. So I don't really care anymore.
No, I mean, as far as the paper is concerned, I don't know. I will say that it's got to be related to Charon and the River Styx. It's got to be something like that because once I saw the Styx chocolate bar this time round, and then I went, oh, because I didn't know what she was on about and who she was, and you know, if you're trying to fix something, maybe you're going about it the wrong way, and then it's like, no, hang on, she's important somehow. And then I looked her up on IMDb, and then when I did that and I saw it was Sharon, and I'm thinking, hang on, River Styx, Sharon, and I made some kind of massive leap. But beyond that, I hadn't got a clue. I needed to look up Charon and paper and because they were like little tiny runes on the paper.
Right.
I don't know what that symbolizes. But then it does kind of mess up its mythologies because hold me tongue. Gat Gat sort of says that he's a titan and everything, but Gat himself isn't Gat something Lovecraftian, Jim? Because this was the thing I was going to ask you.
I don't think so. At least it doesn't ring a bell with me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not, because there's
thousands of bits and blobs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, because I mean, again, it's one of those things I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm sure I've heard that before somewhere. I have no idea where. But it was like Gathamor, I couldn't fucking pronounce it anyway. Ooh-wah-woo-wah. It was Edward Woodward without the E's and the D's.
Oh, no, I was now seeing it written down. Yes, it is a Lovecraftian name, a more obscure one.
What is it? Go on.
If I remember, well, it was worshipped in ancient Lemuria. It lived in a hollow volcano. Essentially, it's like a giant cancer.
Right.
And in some stories, claimed to be the son of Cthulhu.
Oh, well, there you go. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Which makes
his special power was anyone gazing upon him. It caused you to instantly mummify.
Right.
By leaving your brain still alive.
Oh,
and
nice.
Trapped for all eternity in a mummified body after seeing it.
Fucking fantastic.
Lovely. Okay.
Yep. I know what I'm doing on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Gathanoa. Yeah. There you go. Now I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Zoic legend cycle. All right. Zothic. All right. Yeah. Firstborn of Cthulhu. Infamous for his horrid appearance and fearsome Medusa-like abilities. Nice. Right. Well, there you go. In which case, how did old Gary C get on with it?
Poor Gary.
Yeah, poor Gary. How do we feel about the humour, by the way?
I liked it. I thought it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It kind of, not exactly the same, but it's kind of in a similar neighbourhood, or it lives in the same neighbourhood as Reanimator does.
That's interesting.
But maybe more probably from beyond.
Mm.
It has this kind of, there's like this gross out slapstick element sort of to it.
Mm.
But I mean, I felt like kind of because a lot of the humour is very like splatstick stuff anyway. It is that kind of, you're laughing but it's still horrible.
Yeah.
And that, I think that just kind of, if that was all it had, I wouldn't be that impressed. But that was just one part of the mix, because you have all this like, extra cosmic stuff going on and reality warping, and there's a lot and some serious drama as well as sort of this sort of stuff.
Yeah. You were going to see something there, Elton?
Yeah, the humour. I think I struggled with it. As I said before, the toilet scene, there was a bit where he was going to cut his liver out, and this honestly happened. I was sat there watching it, and he had the blade or the bit of glass, and he was just about to do it, and I was thinking in my head, it would be funny if he was on the wrong side. And then everything stopped, and Simmons went, "Wes, he's on the other side." and then I realised, oh, maybe it was. I think if I hadn't have thought that, then the joke would have been great. But it annoyed me that I kind of worked it out before it was said.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, for me, I thought the humour was again, one of those things that kind of livened it up. I think it also, the one thing I did appreciate was it actually undercut some of the horror enough that when it finally did go full bore, absolutely batshit dingo at the end, and not only that, but also revealed the nature of Wes, it kind of makes it hit harder.
Okay.
Because you go from ha 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 ha, this is as Jim rightly pointed out, something like From Beyond or something like that, or Reanimator, where it's all crazy, but we're all sitting there going, oh no, ha 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 ha, or like Evil Dead, that kind of, are we supposed to be laughing? Yes, we are. Okay, fair enough. So when it turns out that actually he's a notorious fucking serial killer, it's just like, oh good lord, oh god, that's taking a turn. That's taking a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
What about hitting the door with the wet end of someone's leg?
That was quite funny. But it was weird because I'd come last week. I think I mentioned it that I'd seen Renfield, and there was a whole bit in Renfield where he basically skewers a man with someone else's arms, nails him to a wall. So by that point, the shock had kind of worn off of the use of soggy limbs, and it was it used to be an old sort of like threat from my dad. Like, you do that, I'm going to rip your arm off and hit you with a soggy end.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. Apart from the mild case of child abuse, let's move on. Yeah. So, yeah, I quite liked it. It also felt very Monty Python. The scene with him with Gat doing the grandiose kind of, I am from beyond your understanding. I don't. This is, who can tell what reality is? And as he's doing that, the bloke's kind of basically got an event and just climbing away while he's still monologuing. he's like, I'm still talking. Hello, you out there? You all right? But
one bit I found really funny was when Gat is trying to build him up to make this sacrifice, and he's going to him, I'm sure you can do it, I'm sure you can rise to the occasion, and he's like, oh shit no, and then it's that big moment where he sticks his dick in the hole and it goes silent for a minute, and then Gat's like, what's that?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. You thought your penis would save the universe.
It's not that significant. You don't have to be mean about it. Yeah, and it's shit like that. I thought I kind of really dug. I was quite into the humour. I just, like I say, I thought it worked okay. But then but like I say, I'm coming at it from a second viewing, so I'm a little bit more ready for it, if you know what I mean. I think if you're waiting for a gonzo, murder fest and terrifying monsters from the id, you ain't going to get that. And
yeah, maybe that's what I was hoping for, a little bit more, bit more hard hitting, bit more, I don't know, grotesque, or because even the gory side of things, where he's flailing around in the blood of someone else. I think I spent more time thinking, that's gross. But it wasn't as gross as what I wanted it to be. Even taking a drink from the tap. I wanted that to be horrifically gross, but I don't think it was that type of movie. I think I went into this with the wrong headspace, maybe. Because... like with the humour, it I don't know, I just wasn't... I think I guessed a lot of it, and that kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I've had that so many times of seeing films in the wrong headspace, and you just kind of sit there going, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've mentioned it so many times it's become a cliche on this podcast, but The Matrix was the main one for me.
Well, you guys have seen so many films, so many more films than I have seen, and plenty of times you've seen something coming along, and it hasn't affected you in the way that it's affected me. And I've gone, "Oh, that's amazing!" And you're like, "Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I've seen it 4 or 5 times in this film, this film, this film, this film." I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen that one. I'll go watch them." And I'm not saying that I was ahead of the curve or anything like that. I think I saw a lot of it coming. I think with the humour side of things, and then even like the tentacle, the funny bit when he's cutting out his liver, though, and you have that tentacle just tapping it, just touching it. I thought that was a little tickle. I thought that was because I wasn't expecting that at all. But I think everything else around it, him climbing into the vent and walking away, and I was like, no, that's going to come back to exactly the same place. But I don't know why I thought that. But I did, and it happened. But then when it happens, you're like, oh, okay, right. Kind of ahead of what's going on here. And what makes a good movie, like with Training Day, and you're the last person in that room to know what's going on. Fantastic. Everyone else is around you, but sometimes when you watch a movie and you're ahead of even the main character, it takes something away.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. I totally get that. I mean, there's been, like I say, there's so many films. I mean, even the bloody like I say, that last Evil Dead we're just talking about. In How's Your Week? There's moments where you're sitting there watching that, going, "What could possibly go wrong? I wonder." And then you're sort of like 5 minutes later, oh, what a surprise. This thing that I predicted had gone wrong has gone wrong. You know what I mean? There's so many things where you kind of look at those things and you go, oh, right, okay. And it undermines your enjoyment of it.
Yeah. But when the final reveal of him, I'm guessing like serial killer and killing all the other women and having all the photos of all the other women, and then you see him turn around and he's got the knife in his hand, you're like, oh, it's good, but you're too late. I'm already out the door, I'm afraid. You've already lost me.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, with the serial killer plot, just for Jim and Darren, I guess, seeing as you're already out the door, Elton. But as with the serial killer plot, was not that it was a rug pull, but I was going to ask you guys how you felt that fed into the story. Do you think that it was the whole story was about him finding redemption for his murders, or was he just a cog in some galactic universal wheel? You know, just he was the right sacrifice leading him to this point, or as Gat sort of said, you know.
Yeah, I think it had to do with what Gat said to him. He said, "Is it, you know, when he talks about her, and he's like, she's so prominent in your pain that she's practically here." I think that was like a beacon, you know, seeing a soul in despair. Yeah, let's use that. It'll do.
Right. What about you, Jim?
So I did really like it. I mean, I thought at the end, I think what something Gat says. He says, you know, this world isn't for the, you know, the likes of you and me, because we're the same, you know, agents of pure destruction. And it was just kind of, these kind of, he is the perfect sacrifice. Because he's a monster that's actually now starting to hurt for what he's done. We you know, and that's a fairly rare commodity, because psychopaths usually don't feel a damn thing. Certainly not remorse. And it was almost like kind of this was kind of, you know, he paved a way to that destiny himself.
Yeah, so everything led to that point. But yeah, I also think that goes back to the whole thing with Charon and the River Styx. I mean, she literally gets him to stay by sort of saying, "Oh, you know, if you're going to sleep here, you might want to clear out your stuff out the back of your car." Puts all the suggestions in there, so he has been guided to that point, or at least that's the kind of implication. Because she she gives him food, she gives him a reason to stay there, points at the fire, all those kind of things. It feels like he was guided there by more than just fate, but an actual plan.
Well, I say the ferryman takes you to the other side.
Exactly. He was already doomed by the time he got there. What was I going to say? There was another thing. The one failing, if there is one for me, and I want to get your vibe on it, was should they have actually shown Gat at the end? Because, and I've discussed this many times on all the other casts and all the other monster movie things, but sometimes the less you see, the better it is. Halloween, Jaws, Alien are the three keystones for this. The less you see, the more scary it is. When Gat finally turns up at the end and you see the door open and you see what is essentially a pink blancmange with a couple of hands and a couple of tentacles and a couple of randomly stuck-on eyes. How did you feel about it? I personally wouldn't have minded if you just never saw Gat, or you just saw basically a black void just sitting in that room.
Yeah, it didn't take anything from me. Oh, sorry, it didn't take anything away from the film for me, I should say.
Yeah.
You're right, sometimes it does kill the whole thing because you're building up, and then, oh, it's that. Well, of course it would be. Why wouldn't it be? But I think we're at a stage in cinema where we've kind of seen it all, haven't we? We've seen all the interpretations of aliens, all the interpretations of beings, all the interpretations of colour. It's very hard not to do, like Jim, with the colour of space. Is it? How do you interpret? Yeah. How do you interpret a colour that's never been seen? I had Deluxe Paint 3. That had every colour on it. I've seen them all.
You mean the AGA version with 256 colours, my friend?
I probably had that one. Is that the one on the Amiga?
They were all on the Amiga.
Okay, well then, yes. Yeah. So I've seen all the colours. You can't show me another colour and go, this is the one that you have. See that black square there? It goes there. So, it's... Maybe we've seen every iteration, and there will be more monsters, and we will go, oh, that's really clever, but it's all going to be related back to the 80s and 90s now. And it worries me. Yeah, I think it worries me a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, because in 10 years' time, if I'm still watching movies, in 20 years' time, I'm going to be going, yeah, seeing it. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a floaty thing with tentacles again. How many more tentacles do we need to see?
That's interesting. It becomes.
I think largely maybe that's just a cyclical thing anyway. Because it's kind of, we all grew up with Star Wars, but I guarantee you, all our dads thought souped up Flash Gordon in it.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Flares are back.
Yep. But I know you mean. I think it's very hard to come up with a new monster these days.
Oh God, yeah.
I think
very much so.
There's literally nothing you can't put on screen. And I have grumpy old man worries the same as Elton. But mine is a little more kind of, not that I've seen this before, but it's kind of, I don't know, just because you can, should you?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Well, I watch a lot of old movies, and it's kind of, they do things so effectively because basically they didn't have the option to just conjure literally anything, anything up on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think creatively, I think limitations are important. I think they give artists and writers and whatever, they give it's a barrier to work against to try and scale, and that brings out the best in people somehow.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, well, using Star Wars as a perfect example, when people said no to George Lucas, and when people had the time and the power to sort of say, you've only got this much money, you can only do this, he had to be clever with what he used and what he created and what shots were used and what stuff was designed. Now he's good. By the time you get to Phantom Menace and he's got so much money, he could basically buy a small archipelago and just fill it full of cash. I mean, no one's going to say no to him when he says, I want 600 various creatures standing in a corner doing this, that, and the other. No one's going to say that. No one's going to say, well, hang on, you don't need that. You're jamming up the fucking room. Yeah.
See, the other option, which has also been done many times before, is the view from the creature. And how many times have we seen, not through the eyes, but from that side, all the light coming from the screen onto the main character in front of us? We've seen that a million times as well. It's very hard to reveal, but without reveal.
Yeah. The view from the creature, the sort of, again, a lot of references to Evil Dead this week. The Deadites kind of flying through the forest or whatever. You get that view, and all you can hear is roar, sort of thing. Or the Alien 3, where it's kind of racing down the corridor, and you got that kind of
that.
Yeah, you got that kind of weird swirly view, which is like, really? That's what it looked like? That's what it can see? Hang on, really?
So as far as I know, the earliest I can definitely think of is a 50s movie. It came from outer space. I think that's one that... I'm currently researching this bizarrely, but I think I watched it the other week. I thought, actually, is this the first time someone did that kind of... You see things from the creature's perspective.
Yeah.
And in that case, we've got like a weird kind of like kaleidoscope sort of effect. Just a very subtle one, so it looks like you're looking through like a big, huge sort of like compound eye sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's all a bit sort of shimmery and distorted. But I thought, is that the first time someone's sort of done that? It was a staple. It's a staple in lots of monster movies, and lots of Doctor Who and lots of sci-fi series do it as well. And because the Rolls Royce of this was the Predator vision.
Yes. Yeah.
True, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you remember when War of the Worlds did it? And they plugged in, not the Tom Cruise one, the one from, the 50s one?
Yeah.
Where they plugged in that eye thing with the three colours. It's like, this is how it sees? And they all like move their face up to the lens. You're like, whoa, it's incredible. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of kaleidoscope effects. I think Invaders from Mars had that as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Sort of around about the same time. I don't know which one came first though, but yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying about monsters and making things original. I mean, it was more just sort of coming across the whole thing of, if you don't show it, it still remains a mystery and slightly scary and slightly, troublesome as to what is in there. The instant you show it, some people might still be disturbed by it, but other people won't.
Do you not think they showed enough underneath the stall wall? There was just enough there to show you that there was something, and you had the tentacle come through the hole as well. So there was something there. It's clearly killed Gary as well. So do we really need that need? Do we really need
the reveal
to show like the flying spaghetti monster?
Well, we had sort of seen that already. You know what I mean? In that sort of the toilet graffiti cartoon montage.
Yes.
Where you get his big origin story. So it's kind of, I wasn't really sort of hung up on what it does or doesn't look like.
Mm.
And when the thing at the end was, I said, "Oh yeah, it's a live action version of what we saw earlier."
Mm.
I wasn't overly fussed because I think we'd seen that design in that sort of sequence, which is quite stylized. I just take it that is just a conception of something you can't really conceive or draw, and I wasn't not hung up about it. So when we saw it at the end, it was kind of, to be honest, I've almost completely forgotten we'd seen it at the end.
Yeah.
In glorious latex. You know what I mean? It's kind of, but it didn't sort of bother me. I didn't think it suffered from showing it.
Mm.
And certainly I wasn't sort of disappointed. Equally, if we'd never seen any representation of it at all, other than, say, the tentacle through the glory hole and what you could see, as Elton said, out the pod, or you could see just under the stall. And that'd have been fine as well.
Yeah. I would have been perfectly happy if we'd never seen it at all. But that's just me. It was just one of those things. I kind of went, oh, okay. I understand they had to show something, but equally, if it had just been an absolutely black void with just some tiny dots for eyes, I think that would have been just as effective, because you still wouldn't know what it looked like. You just have an impression that there's something there. What about you, Dal? Did you have a problem with it or not?
No, it was, I mean, I agree with you guys that maybe they should have just left it. They should have just shown Ryan's character, his reaction to the whole thing. Lots of silhouettes or shadows being cast across his face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just leave it. Because, it's an old Alfred Hitchcock thing, isn't it? It making you believe you've actually seen it when you haven't. And it's just your mind is filling in the blanks for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better way to go. But I also like your suggestion of it being just a black void with two eyes looking out. I think that would have been even freakier.
Yeah.
Just that. It's
just a void, a weird void that you couldn't comprehend. Because I think...
like Alan Partridge would say, it's a gas. Yes, God's a gas.
It's a gas.
Just a gas everywhere. So, yeah, something like that.
I think the problem is it's the same thing that always happens, and I think we brought this up before on other films which have got a Lovecraftian bent, but it's like, if you turn around and tell me that this thing is so horrific that you can't look at it without going mad, then...
Don't show it.
Don't show it, because there's no way you can show something like that and have it live up to just that implication.
There's also the health and safety implications of, if it did, then you'd have the audience going mad. So, that's pretty bad for publicity.
No, it's not. Have you not seen Hollywood?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sorry,
they would love that.
Yeah,
fucking people
out of turn there.
people fainting at the fucking Exorcist and throwing up at Alien. I mean, that became front page news to sell the bloody show. It's like,
yes.
Yeah.
Or screaming at the image of an oncoming train. What are we doing?
Exactly. No one's sitting there going, go. If you see this film, you're going to shit your entire spleen out in fear, and everyone's going, brilliant, let's go see it. No one's sitting there going, I quite like my spleen, and I don't like it coming out of my arse. Everyone's like, fucking, let's have some of that. Never.
An honest review. I shit myself. No, I actually did shit myself. Daily Star.
Daily Star, yeah. 3 stars.
Definitely 3 stars.
3 stars out of 8.
1 star. No review.
Yeah. Brown star.
Motherfucker.
Right. So, has anyone got anything they would particularly like to bring up about this? Because I think, we're kind of going around a bit. But anyone got anything additional to bring up that they'd like to discuss?
No, for me, no, I'm afraid.
That's fair.
I I think talking about it has helped. Definitely.
Therapy or something.
Yeah.
Say like all therapy.
Yeah. But, yeah, I still am on the camp of I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
That's fair, man.
That's fair. You like what you like.
Mm.
If it doesn't grab you or you're not in the headspace for it, then you can't do nothing about it.
No.
You know?
Or you like what you like. You're wrong, but you like what you like.
Yeah. What about you, Dal? Got any last thoughts on it?
No, I just thought it was a nice little romp. You know, that was it. I enjoyed watching it. It gave me more than I thought I was going to get out of it. So, yeah,
Cool. Okay. And Jim?
good.
So I liked it, and I do think it's kind of there's been quite a few of these films that in the past couple of years are trying to recreate 80s horror, and generally they all keep getting it wrong. Whereas this actually that wasn't its sole purpose of existence,
No.
but actually that's what it ended up doing rather well. It really did remind me very much like things like From Beyond.
Yeah.
And so kind of, I thought that splat stick, but something more going on behind it as well.
Yeah.
It was very kind of in the true spirit of the 80s, not just have everything in neon, which is the lazy idiots who
Yeah.
way of thinking about the 80s.
Though there was a fair portion of purple and sort of magenta lighting.
Yeah, the thing is though, when you realise that this is sort of a Lovecraftian story, it is kind of the lighting scheme is very much borrowed from Beyond, and it is like perfectly in keeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go that route, really. I thought that was a clever colour palette choice. You know what I mean? That sort of thematically made sense, not for some bogus hipster aesthetic.
Yeah, that was. I was going to say, is because that color was very color out of space.
Well, that's borrowing from Beyond as well. That's the one that really cemented that idea of sort of this really sort of bright purple violet as the cover of Color of Another Dimension.
Yeah. The dimension which is ruled over by Joel Schumacher, and he's still got all those purple and red light bulbs from Batman and Robin. He's just lighting up the entire world with them. Cool. Yeah, I mean, overall, I did like it. I still liked it. The second time round, I enjoyed it more because I think I was ready for it. There was a couple of, like I say, a couple of moments where I kind of wobbled a little bit, but that's because of second watch. You know, you always a little bit more critical the second time round. But no, I quite liked it, and I don't know about you guys, but I think the glory hole gag of the whole plot is almost kind of to its detriment. That you kind of you go in expecting something a lot more, shall we say, willy focused.
Yes.
And so when it's not, you kind of you're either slightly disappointed it isn't going on the crazy side with knob demons and all that kind of stuff, or you're kind of relieved but confused by why it's even there. So, but anyway, no, it's a good film. I liked it. I did like it. Right, I think we should leave it there unless anyone's got anything major they want to bring up. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Right. Okay. Cool. So, that's that. That was Glorious. And I'm sure they picked that fucking title just so that everyone can go, Glorious, it's glorious. What's this movie? It's glorious. Oh, right, okay. I'll watch it then. Right. So we are now going to move on. If anyone has seen this film and would like to send in feedback, and as you heard, Martin Thompson had already left a little bit of feedback for me, then do send it in to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or jump on to the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. See, I can't even fucking remember this thing. I've said it about 500 times. Starting to go mental. It's just my problem now. Right, so go over there and leave a message or leave a review underneath the episodes, and we'll take it from there. We'll read it out next week. Right, he says, with his finger firmly placed upon the pause button, ready to go. Darren,
Yeah.
it's your choice this week. When we come back for next time, what will we be watching?
Right. So I have to, of course, make this decision. I've got one film loaded into the chamber. I don't think anybody's going to thank me for it.
Right.
Because from what I hear, well, let's make a choice, right? I've got one that I don't think any of us have seen, and I've got one that I think some of us have seen, but we've definitely heard of, and we've heard the reviews of this, and it ain't good. So, what do we want to do? What do we want to go for? Do we want to go for something that a mystery, or do we want to go for a misery? Mystery or misery? Misery or mystery?
Okay.
Roll up. It's the magical misery tour. Yes. No.
I'm happy for either.
Oh, you fool.
I'm firmly sitting on that fence.
Right.
You fool.
Sure.
Okay. Go on in, Jim.
I go for mystery. On the grounds it still could be bad anyway, so
It could. This could
you're
still
kind of
be
just
bad.
inceptioning the original question.
Yeah.
or reminiscencing in the original question. Okay, well that I like that reasoning. The reasoning is sound.
Yeah.
The mystery film could still be dog egg, but at
It
least
could still be dog egg.
At least we got a 50-50 chance.
Indeed.
In which case, I'm going to go for the mystery.
You're going to go for the mystery. You're going to go wet. Sweet little mystery, yeah?
Sweet little mystery. Bring it on. What we got?
Okay. Well, like I say, I've never seen this film before. I think it sounds interesting, but I could be wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go with mystery on this one. We are going to go with a film that's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it is another small town sort of horror affair, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a film called Werewolves Within.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. So you've heard of this one then, yeah?
I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. You get to see it again.
Yeah, Werewolves Within.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I will. The only reason I'm saying, "Are you kidding me?" is because when I brought this up in the green room about 6 months ago to watch this, you, along with several other members of the hosting group, and erred and put a bit of a on it.
Well, this is what happens when you get old, you see. You forget things, right? Okay? And that's what's great about it, because you get to experience things more than once with that air of a child, experiencing things.
Darren, use the PICARD shield. Use the PICARD shield.
What's the PICARD shield?
What's the PICARD
Just raise the PICARD shield.
What's that mean?
Ray shields. Is that it? Do we mean that?
What do you even mean?
I've seen it as well. I think I might have even talked about it on here.
Yeah, I thought so.
I know we haven't watched it.
Yeah, okay. We haven't watched it for the cast. No, we haven't. No. What's the Picard shield, Elton?
I don't know. I may have got that the wrong way round. I should have been saying it to you. I'm not too sure.
I think so.
I think so. Wow. There's so
That's
much
got me
wrong.
all excited. We're going to have to make something up there, aren't we?
There's so much wrong with this end of the podcast segment. I don't even know where to begin.
Or is it the Picard with Nail and I defence? You'll have to excuse me. I've got a positoric brain. If you hit me, you'll switch me off.
It'll be murder.
Yeah, it would be murder. Or at least a reboot.
Or are you trying to imply that by liking the third season and loving the member berries for the first time, I've become a hypocrite and you can just dismiss everything?
Yeah, man,
I think that may be it, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you're a sheeple, man. You're
I'm
a
a sheeple, man. You've become
People
everything.
can change their minds.
You've become everything you hate. Yeah, okay. Well, fuck you. That's what I say to that. I put Werewolves Within on the banner now. It's too late.
That's it. We're done.
That's it.
Our
It's
fate
in.
is sealed. The door's been locked. The seventh chevron on the Stargate has been locked in.
That's it.
And we're going off to the part of the universe that's either full of
Werewolves
joy or pain.
Well, I
both.
will go around the table. Darren, you haven't seen this film, so are you looking forward to watching it?
I don't know now. I'm not sure.
Because you were a bit and about it last time I'd mentioned I was going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, very much so. Yes, yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay, Jim, have you heard of this film?
I have.
And are you looking forward to watching it again?
I would if I can remember anything about it. No, I'm only joking. I actually quite enjoyed it the first time round, so I'm looking forward to.
Would you like to know
revisiting,
what you
actually.
would have got? What you would have won? I'll tell you after.
Okay, I was going to ask Elton, have you heard of this film?
I think I remember us
Discussing
mentioning it. I've definitely seen the poster. I'm sure I've seen the adverts for it. But that's
I like
it.
that. I've seen the
eaten
poster. I'm
crisps,
qualified
I've
to
worn the
review it.
T-shirt.
I've spoken to everyone who worked on it, but I don't
I got
remember
the
it.
stickers free with some Frosties.
I've got the Shrinky Dinks collection. But
So
no, I
as
haven't
good
seen
as
it.
seen it, you know.
Right. Okay. Cool. Well, I have seen it. I did enjoy it, and I tried to recommend it last time, but
Oh, it's
I
an
got-
adaptation of a video game, is it?
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like this is what happens when you get old. You get to enjoy things because you forget them, and you get to enjoy them.
Sounds like someone's raising the Picard shields.
This is it, yeah.
I still don't know what that means.
It can mean anything you like.
It
Okay,
means
that's it.
nothing.
It means you make this shit up as you go along.
The big,
Right.
that's Picard season 1 shields. That's different.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
that's the
which
name of
which
the new
season shield
podcast
do we have?
after the Hound is out of this one. We'll come back as the Picard Shield.
Ray Shields.
That's our band name where we're
you've
busking.
Got, Lee,
Yeah?
You've got to steal that from a Star Trek episode when he's Ray Shields.
Red alert, shields up. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
The Picard shields. What's it
The
mean?
Picard
I
shield.
don't know. It's become the shut up. That's why for this new season of podcasts. Why is that happening? Picard shields.
Baby. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Picard shields.
It is the new baby. Yes.
Why did you think this would work? I don't know. Picard shields.
Picard Shields. I'm going to be wondering about that right now. I'm just
I
gonna
don't even know. The worst bit is it's coming from a man who's never seen a fucking episode of Star Trek in his entire fucking life. Picard shields. And then vanishes into smoke. Well, just why?
I don't know.
You're a wizard, Harry, so may the force be with you.
Picard shields. You shall not pass.
Oh, there you go. That's the tagline. Picard Shields, you shall not pass.
Gandalf has raised Picard shields.
On the deck of the Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
Coming from Moonbase Alpha in the TARDIS. Picard shields.
What we just said there is just the speaking equivalent of Starship Troopers by fucking Legs. What was it? Not Legs and Co. What's a fucking group that did it?
Legs and Co.
Yeah, Legs and Co.
Hot gossip.
Oh, Gossip. That's it.
It sounds like Darren's trouser store.
Well, it is actually, Elton. That is Hot Gossip. Oh yes.
Hang on. When did Hot Gossip do Starship Troopers?
I lost my heart to a Starship Trooper.
Oh, right.
Crushing life in hyperspace. My award from the Federation. Hand in hand, we'll conquer space.
Yeah, but that wasn't sung by Hot Gossip.
That was.
No, it wasn't.
It
It was
was.
sung by
Sarah
Sarah
Brightman.
Brightman, but it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah Brightman wasn't in the Hot Gossip.
She
She was for that song.
Yeah, for that song. That's like the backing dancers for an In Sync fucking concert saying we were all in sync. It's like, no.
Well, I'm in sync, and so's my wife.
I mean, PICARD SHIELDS. And then he was gone.
Yes, I lost my heart to a Starship Super formed by Sarah Brightman and Hot Gossip.
There you
Wow.
go.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know what? I don't know whether it's bad that I argued the point, or great that I didn't get it right.
It's a song that's full of about 3 trillion sci-fi cliches.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yep.
That's back in the day when
One after the other. Just bang, 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 bang. Take that.
It's back in the day when the internet didn't exist and you wouldn't have 70,000 people threatening death upon Legs and Co. or whatever the fuck saying,
Eat it, nerds.
you said the Federation. They're not conquering space. They're they don't conquer. And they don't go hand in hand. Those ships are far too big. Anyway.
I was never sure whether it meant Star Trek Federation or Blake 7 Federation.
Oh.
Now you're really kind of.
no.
That's a discussion for
Oh, no.
beers and a late night, I think that one.
I was going to say.
So which federation do you think they meant?
What federation? Fucking don't know. Well, it could be a federation. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Could
Maybe
be
it's
any. Nobody mentioned Serverland once.
Is it a European federation? I don't know.
Who knows?
Hmm.
Evil Darth Vader as well is mentioned in it,
Yeah,
rather than the good Darth Vader.
yeah. We remember the good Darth Vader, don't we?
Of course we do. Yeah, He always got around it. He was all right. You know,
Yeah, he was good.
bought sandwiches and stuff. You know, bags of crisps. Opened them all up on the table, and everybody could take some. It's great.
PICARD SHIELDS! Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are doing Werewolves Within. It's on Netflix. Watch it. Now it's time to move on to Pim's Corner.
You don't want to know what you could have won.
Oh, go on then. What could we have won?
I just thought, right, okay, I've heard this film's a load of shit. I'll choose this one.
Star Trek Insurrection.
No,
All right.
no. It's R.I.P.D.
Oof.
You ducked and you missed that baseball bat coming your way. There
Oof.
we go.
Fucking hell. I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah, I've heard terrible things about it.
Yeah, no. Katie, my eldest, watched it once on Netflix, and
Never
she
again.
said it was so bad she actually considered asking me to cancel Netflix. So
I can't give a subscription fee to a company that does this. What is this? This is you said this is entertainment.
yes,
What
and
this?
she likes Star Trek Into Darkness, the horror.
Good Lord.
The horror. What have I done? What have I unleashed upon the world?
God, what have I done?
Yes. Anyway, so Pim's Corner. Let's
Yeah.
move over there. Jim, tell us what's happening over at Hypnogoria.
This week I've just finished an episode looking at the latest book from Garth Marenghi, Terratome.
Garth Marenghi. Garth Marang.
Dogs.
Gareth Marang. Cool. Cool. And anything else? Is there a second, any additional bits, or is that it?
There'll be a commentary club on classic Young Ones episode Bambi, and there'll be another ghost story later in the week, probably.
Cool. Excellent. Right. And what about you, Elton? What's happening over at Rogue 2?
Just cars going round in circles at the moment. Yeah.
Cool. Okie dokie. And that's over at Grand Prix Podcast.
No, that's over at rogue2media.com.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Lastly, because I know Darren isn't appearing on anything, I would just like to just interject and say that you, sir, appeared on The Great Derelict this week. Elton.
I did?
No, not you.
Yes.
Oh, me?
He apologised last week. He apologised last week ahead of appearing on The Great Derelict. Yes. I know now why you say these things.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Good
It's
choice.
fine. Plus the nod to Scissor Sisters in the intro. Gotta say, I did feel slightly called out. I don't know why.
No.
I don't know why. It felt slightly like someone had called me out. I don't know why.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, couldn't possibly.
Don't know what you're on about.
Hmm?
I'm raising the shield, the PICARD shield.
PICARD shields. Goodbye. Yes, Darren.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Elton, sir. He did pick an adaptation of Another Brick in the Wall that appeared
by the Skizar sisters.
No, not the Skizar sisters. No,
Oh, right, okay.
but he did reference them.
Was it Tommy Walsh's Another Brick in the Wall? Was that it?
Yeah, that's it. By Groundfuls.
Right.
Anyway, no. Anyway, right. I think we'll leave it there. Darren, are you
Yes.
appearing in anything?
No.
Right. Brilliant. Well, I'm not appearing in anything either, so we can not appear in something together.
Don't
Right.
forget to download that one, folks.
Yeah, like and subscribe and smash that like button. Yes, that's it really. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And yes, we shall see you all next week for Werewolves Within. Until that time, thank you all for listening. Take care. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
PICARD shields.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.